Hello, I just wanted to come on and give a quick update. Many of you guys know that Eli and I went on a church planning conference just a couple weeks ago. This is our new puppy, by the way. She might be running up and down a little bit. Her name's Kona, so if you see her, give her a little wave. So we went to this church planning conference called Exponential in Orlando. It's not a denominational conference. It is just church planning in general. But the CMA did have a pre-conference. So we got to meet with the CMA for the pre-conference for a couple days beforehand, which that experience was super cool because it really gave us the opportunity to meet a lot of people that we've not met yet, but also to put pen and paper to the ideas that we've had, to some of the things that we feel called to, or the people we feel called to, maybe the community that we'd like to reach, how we're going to reach them, all the little things like that. And so it was all brainstorming, nothing set in stone by any means, but it was really neat to see the process that you have to go through. So things that you need to nail down before you go to church plant. So anyways, that was awesome. And then the conference started, and the conference was so good. At first, in every session, the main session, they talked about the gauges of our relational, personal, relational, physical, spiritual, and mental gauges. And so just like a gauge in a car, a fuel gauge, it would be like empty or full. And so we got to measure how we felt mentally, how we felt spiritually, and so on and so forth. And in each session, they talked about how, as a church planner, to keep those gauges high, and how to be filled spiritually, and how to be filled physically, how to be filled relationally, and so on and so forth. So that was really neat, really cool. We've actually been practicing that in staff meeting as well. So that's a concept we've been familiar with and have been practicing. Getting a little bit more information on that was really neat. She's playing with her toy, so sorry. But along with that, we went to several mini sessions. I can't think of what they're called. Seminars, I guess. They called them workshops. So we went to workshops. One of them was about pre-launch, what to do before pre-launch. And in that one, we actually got so many new ideas of different types of church plants. Often we think of church planting as like going to go buy a building in a community that needs to know who Jesus is, and getting the building and hoping people show up on a Sunday service. And it's just not limited to that. And a lot of what we thought of too is small groups, and then or prayer groups, and then expanding and becoming into a church plant. But this opened our eyes to a lot of new possibilities. One of them in that group has started a pickleball church. And I didn't even think that was possible, honestly. But they have been playing pickleball once a week for over a year, maybe 2 years, and building relationships with these people. And they've started a church from it. So it's super cool. There was lots of different ideas that we were given throughout this week. That was just one of them that really expanded the idea of what church is. Because church isn't a Sunday service. Church is the people. We know that from scripture. And it's not a specific setting. It's not a specific building. It's not a specific schedule or anything of that matter. But church is when people can gather to know Jesus, right? So anyways, we got to know about that. The main idea the main theme of Exponential was multiplication. And so one of the ideas is that multiplication isn't church planting. Church planting, however, is multiplication. Church planting is a way to multiply, but there's so many different ways to multiply. And you don't have to do church planting. Although, one of the awesome things that really stuck with me is that you don't have to be called to church plant to be available for church planting. And going into this, I have not felt this huge pull or passion or calling to be a church planter. My husband, Eli, for sure has, and I'm in full support of it. I do think that's what our family is meant to do, but I don't have this burning passion to go do it. And I was expecting by the end of this week, the conference, to have that moment. And I didn't have that moment. However, somebody at the conference told me, you don't have to be called to church plant, but you do need to be available for it. And church planting is disciple making. And so they really went into what does it look like to make disciples. And going into the conference, or just in general, I really had a very narrow mind of discipleship. Somebody put it simply, discipleship is just doing life alongside somebody else and growing in the direction of Jesus. And so that was encouraging because I can do that. I can do that. That is attainable. I can do life alongside somebody and bring them closer to Jesus while they bring me closer to Jesus too. And that's the steps of church planting. And so I just want to encourage you guys with that be a multiplier, multiply the kingdom, bring people with you to heaven to be with you in glory. Help others know who Jesus is. That's not evangelism. Evangelism is, it's part of it, surely. But people get so scared about evangelism. But when you think of it in the idea of discipleship, of just doing life with somebody, just building a relationship with somebody, and in that naturally pointing them closer to Jesus. So be a multiplier, be available for what the Lord wants you to do, be available for church planting, and come join our team for church planting. We'd love to plant church with you. But anyways, be a multiplier.